What's going on, everybody? My name's Tenebris Infinite, and welcome to a video on pistol builds here in Second Extinction. The pistol is a sidearm that easily gets ignored in comparison to things like the SMG and the revolver, but the pistol itself packs a hell of a punch. With the right skill builds, you can design a burst fire pistol that is excellent for taking down enemies in one fell swoop, and a semi-auto build that is designed for getting you out of tight situations and for conserving that pistol ammo in the middle of combat. Today we're going to run down the two upgrade builds that will lead to the ultimate close quarters combat pistol of your preference. Now for the burst build, you're going to want to go for handling so that way you can get the extended mag, and then stability so that way you can get the burst fire, and then in impact you're going to be running brawler, CQC honed, and target bias in order to ensure that you're getting as many crits as possible with your burst fire. And for the semi-auto build, it's mostly the same as the burst, but the difference being that you aren't running burst, and instead you're running adrenaline shot. And the adrenaline shot will kind of get you out of a lot of tight spaces, and situations where you're running really low on health. Now let's talk about some of the pros and cons of these two builds. One of the big pros for the burst fire is that it's actually really useful for taking down drones. So say if you don't want to waste any of your primary ammo on taking down a drone, you can utilize the burst pistol to take down drones in your vicinity. And one of the biggest pros that the semi-auto build has over the burst build is basically ammo conservation. So with the semi-auto build, you're able to kind of more fine-tune the way you're going to be utilizing your shots, and instead of just kind of spraying the enemy and letting them go down through virtual DPS, you're able to kind of more so choreograph critical hits and headshots against the dinos that you're fighting. And between the two, you're also able to kind of ensure yourself to get that brawler boost, which gives you a defense boost whenever you kill an enemy via melee utilizing the semi-auto build. With the burst build, you're more than likely going to be taking down the weaker enemies in a single burst, whereas with the semi-auto build, you can give them just one quick pop and then start hitting them with your melee in order to get that brawler boost. Between the two though, the burst deals far better with flatbacks and bulls, but when it comes to T-Rexes, it's actually kind of a different story, and we'll talk about that in a second. But with the burst fire, you're able to enterprise on enemies exposing their weak points a little bit better than with the semi-auto build itself. And through sheer DPS, you're also able to take down these heavier dinos a little bit faster with the burst than with the semi-auto. Now, as I said, for Rexes, it's a little bit of a different story here. Between the two, they have their own pros and cons. With the burst fire, again, based on sheer DPS, you're able to take out the Rex quicker than if you were using the semi-auto build. But with the semi-auto build, you're able to place your shots a lot better, and so because of that, you're able to take out the Rex with less bullets than with the burst fire. Now, again, it all just comes down to personal player preference at this point. Do you prefer being able to just rattle off a whole bunch of shots and take down things really quickly? Or are you a little bit more accurate and a little bit more conservative in your play? And do you prefer maintaining your ammo count? These are the kinds of things that you really have to think about when you're choosing your upgrade builds here in Second Extinction. Will you go for the thing that provides the most power, or will you go for the thing that provides the most longevity? Now, your main hero also kind of comes into play here too. A lot of times, if you're going to be playing Jurgen, you're probably going to want to go for the semi-auto build in order to maintain that consistency and also the improved accuracy of just firing off single shots. Whereas if you're going with Amir or Ortega or even Rosie, you might want to actually go for the burst fire just in order to ensure that your sidearm is getting the maximum amount of power out of it. Now, the final thing that is kind of the differentiating factor between these two is the adrenaline shot that you can manage to equip with the semi-auto build. The adrenaline shot, a lot of times, will really save you when you're down to just your white bar of health. And a lot of times will kick in when you're around maybe 50% of your white bar of health. It will only heal that white bar, but still having that in a moment where you maybe don't have any stim packs on you can be a real lifesaver. So there you dudes go, two of the best CQC based pistol builds that you can have here in Second Extinction. And I want to know, have you dudes been playing with the pistol very much, or did you discard it the moment you got the SMG? If you play Ortega, do you still use sidearms, or do you just go with the two primaries? And as well, have you been experimenting with upgrade builds here in Second Extinction? I want to know all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I've been Tenebris, you've been awesome, and I will catch you dudes in the next one. Until then, peace.